Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
A small western Kentucky town was the center of attention this weekend. The annual Fancy Farm Picnic kicked off the unofficial start to the political season.
And today we learned that a former Lexington council member lost his battle with cancer. Bill Bryant has the bottom line.
Good evening. The heat of the western Kentucky August sun was no match for some of the tough talk coming from the stage at Fancy Farm over the weekend. The annual picnic marks the unofficial start of the general election campaign in Kentucky, and the tradition was renewed when the state's top leaders and wannabe leaders took the stage. Democrat Jack Conway lit into Republican candidate for Governor Matt Bevin, and Bevin criticized the early direction of the race.
Here's the truth. When someone like Matt Bevin lies to us about the big things and the small things, we can't trust Matt Bevin to look out for us.
We are celebrating our divisions, and we're doing it in a childish way that frankly does not resolve any of the issues that we face.
Meanwhile, independent Drew Curtis now says he has the required signatures to get on the ballot for November. He wasn't allowed to speak at Fancy Farm, but he was there and he talked with reporters throughout the day, saying Kentuckians are tired of traditional political parties. The Republicans running for president, all 17 of them, are waiting to find out who will make the cut for this week's debate in Cleveland that will be on national TV. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, who skipped the Fancy Farm events to stay on the campaign trail for the White House, is widely expected to be among the top 10 candidates on stage. Paul has indicated he may cast the election as between him and others who want to blow up the world. Paul says many of his rivals for the nomination are too eager to get involved in civil wars of other countries. Billionaire Donald Trump, by the way, is leading most polls heading toward the debate. Meanwhile, the Democrats could get another presidential contender. Vice President Joe Biden said to be taking a very close look at entering the race. Insiders say Biden will decide within the month. Former Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton is holding on to a wide lead for the Democratic nomination, but independent Senator Bernie Sanders criticizes both Clinton and Biden as conventional politicians. Ed Lane, a longtime Lexington City Council member and publisher of the business publication The Lane Report, has died. Lane had battled cancer for 2 years, which only those closest to him had known. Mayor Jim Gray said the city will miss Ed Lane's leadership and experience. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Now.
He's going to be fine. I mean, I really think he's just lost.
Crews continue to search for a missing man at the Red River Gorge.
The new leader of Fayette County Public Schools tells us how he plans to address problems in the district.
It's called shoulder surfing. Coming up, we'll tell you about a new way con men are stealing your personal information.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
They say he's been missing for nearly 2 days, and tonight rescue crews are expanding their search for a man they say ran away from a campsite.
Family members tell us 31-year-old Josh Adkins went missing Saturday night from the Coomer Ridge campground at the Red River Gorge. Tonight, Sam Smith is in Wolfe County talking to family members who are holding out hope for Adkins' safe return. He has our top story at 5:30.
He's going to be fine. I mean, I really think he's just lost.
Family members of Josh Adkins are optimistic about his disappearance.
I mean, anyone that's ever been out after dark, it gets confusing, and when it gets daylight, it doesn't look the same.
His family was out camping Saturday. They say when it came time to leave, he didn't want to go, and he took off from the campground and went into the woods. Crews have been out here searching for him, and more rescuers were brought in today. More than a dozen agencies from all over the state have reported to help out in the search.
We feel he's lost. We don't feel he's hurt at this point because the rescue dogs have picked up several scents in different areas that shows that he's moving and he's moved far.
The 31-year-old's family says he suffers from a mental illness. They say he's 6'1" and has brown hair and a brown beard. They say if you see him, know that he is not dangerous.
He's going to look like a burly, scary-looking guy, but he's not at all. He's a very friendly person. He's going to want to talk to people when he meets them. He may ask to pray for you. If you meet him, don't be frightened or scared or afraid of his religion talk. That's just his personality.
You're asked to call 911 if you see him, so his family can know he's safe and he can return home. In Wolfe County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
A member of the rescue squad was injured during the search. He says he was climbing down from a tree and injured his ankle.
We're certainly enjoying some beautiful weather across the bluegrass today. Plenty of sun and no humidity, really, but all of that could change starting tonight. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell's tracking some changes in the forecast. Jim?
They're even showing up, the changes that you speak of, showing up just to our north with showers and thunderstorms. Nothing here in Kentucky yet. We look outside in Lexington and you just see some clouds, sunshine, of course, and a little bit of the blue sky is also coming into play. Currently, we're at 88 degrees with a feels-like temperature of 92, so we're not overwhelmed with the humidity yet. Certainly pushing it up a few degrees as far as the feels-like is concerned, but still not that bad just yet. I mean, because think about it. This is August. It's supposed to be like this or worse. We look all around us with the temperatures and, of course, with the fender showers, thunderstorms that I'm talking about to our north now, creeping in to maybe barely getting into northern parts of Kentucky. Out in eastern Kentucky, you folks are at 85, 86, 87 degrees in different locations. This one cluster has sparked a severe thunderstorm watch that's just outside of our area, and it looks like it's going to continue to take that track off toward the south and east over the next several hours. Our 24-hour planner, I'm going to throw the mention of a small chance around. I think in central Kentucky, it's going to be very low. The chance is a little bit better out to our east. And we'll have more chances of rain as we head into the day tomorrow. I'll track it hour by hour coming up for you in just a few minutes.
Jim, thank you. The first day is underway for the new superintendent of Fayette County Public Schools. The Board of Education unanimously voted to hire Emmanuel Manny Calk back in June. He takes over one of the largest districts in the state amidst a lot of construction and change. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy talked with Calk this morning about his priorities for the district.
Like the motto of the organization he now leads, Fayette County Public Schools' new superintendent, Manny Calk, says his job is about kids. He listed for us what's top on his agenda moving into the new school year.
One is ensuring that our students, and our students come first, have a successful experience in terms of the first day of school. Second, ensuring that we have the staffing in place and that they have the support so we can have a successful start to the school year. And the third for me is just to listen and to learn and get to know the organization.
Calk comes in on the heels of a scathing state audit that found district-wide problems in communication and spending.
I think we have great people, and it's a matter of just the monitoring and the oversight. But I think we're confident that we will not experience again those sorts of findings.
Calk wants to build strong relationships amongst teachers and staff. He's hosting a first inaugural Fayette County Public Schools Family Reunion Sunday for the district. Business leaders in the community are funding it.
There's great support for public education. And so we're really grateful to have great partners. Now we need to work together because it truly takes the entire community to ensure the success of our public schools.
In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
The Family Reunion Sunday is out at Masterson Station Park from 1 to 4. Superintendent Calk says he's looking forward to meeting a lot of people.
Police in Versailles say they have identified 3 possible suspects in a string of vandalism. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Woodford County. According to our partners at the Herald Leader, those suspects smashed more than 30 car windows around the city last week. Police say the vandalism was not confined to one location. Right now, police are preparing warrants for those suspects. In Anderson County, a family will have to find somewhere else to live after a fire ripped through their home. According to the Anderson News, the fire broke out at a home on Powell Taylor Road about 6:45 this morning. Firefighters say a woman was sleeping on the couch at the time when the smoke woke her up. Firefighters say that no one was injured, but the home was destroyed. And in Fleming County, a hospital is receiving quite a boost. Today, hospital leaders announced that Fleming County Hospital has joined LifePoint Health. In February, we reported the hospital had a $1 million payment each year with not much money coming in. Hospital leaders hope this move will bring in additional resources and improve health care. As part of LifePoint, the hospital will become a local taxpayer. Fleming County is the 9th LifePoint hospital in the state.
Transportation leaders say it's an area that could be a hazard for pedestrians. Today, crews started work on a busy intersection in Lexington. The left turn lanes to Mason Headley and Waller Avenue from Harrodsburg Road will be closed for several weeks. In that time, crews will rebuild the median to make it more pedestrian friendly and compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. WKYT's Mark Barber is talking to drivers who frequently use that area.
Construction crews say they are working to fix several issues with the road here at Harrodsburg, Waller Avenue, and Mason Headley Road. They say this area has needed attention for quite some time because there are several issues with the intersection, including the fact that it is not pedestrian friendly. Crews are working to correct the problem and help the intersection meet the guidelines set up by the Americans with Disabilities Act by putting in new medians with wheelchair accessible ramps. The construction is shutting down the left turn lanes from Harrodsburg onto Waller Avenue and Mason Headley Road for a week and a half. The project was supposed to start last month, but it was delayed by the rain. Tom Martin sees a doctor at St. Joseph Hospital every week, but he's not used to seeing this outside the hospital.
We came upon a backhoe setting in the lane, so we had to stop and go around, you know.
Crews are detouring traffic onto Bobolink Drive, but Martin also has some advice for drivers trying to beat the traffic.
We just try to leave early. Anymore, it seems like everybody leaves 5 minutes later than what they're supposed to be there.
The construction project will not be finished until the end of September, so it will not be completed before the start of school or UK's football season. You'll want to keep that in mind if you're hoping to watch one of UK's first home games at Commonwealth Stadium. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
And we have another traffic alert or update to pass along to you. Transportation leaders say the reconstruction at Alumni Drive should be finished before UK's first football game on September 5th. A coal company in eastern Kentucky has filed for bankruptcy. Alpha Natural Resources in Perry County filed for voluntary Chapter 11 bankruptcy early this morning. This comes just after President Obama announced plans for stricter emission cuts at power plants. A spokesperson for the company says they hope this decision will give them the chance to restructure and come back ready to compete. Alpha Natural Resources is the fourth major coal producer to file for bankruptcy protection in the last 2 years.
It's called shoulder surfing, a new way for con artists to steal your personal information. And once they get that information, they use it for personal gain. This is Walmart's surveillance video of a couple using their phone on a victim.
They traveled the country really exploiting Walmart's check cashing procedures.
They are Robert and Jennifer McVitie. The husband and wife pair stole more than $400,000 from the retail giant.
To cash a check at Walmart, it's all based on your Social Security number. You sign up with Walmart to get the check cashing privileges.
And once you sign up, all you have to do to cash a check is enter your Social Security number.
That Social Security number really tells the system that there's been no negative hits with this account and you're in good standing with Walmart.
The McVitie's would travel to Walmarts in city after city and wait for people to approach the customer service desk area to cash a check.
Typically, Jennifer would stand a short distance behind the victim on an angle and use her smartphone to zoom in and videotape the entry of the Social Security number.
This is called shoulder surfing.
Jennifer McVitie really did a great job of shoulder surfing using a smartphone.
In a 12 to 15 month span, the team stole more than 900 Social Security numbers.
They would move to the next Walmart, where Robert would then approach the customer service and he would enter the victim's Social Security number. He would cash a counterfeit check.
Walmart investigators worked with postal inspectors to track down the McVitie's. They were caught in Las Vegas, where they had gambled away most of the money they'd taken. Postal inspectors have some simple advice for all consumers.
Create a barrier, whether that's with your hand, whether that's with your body, and be aware of your surroundings. Whether you're at an ATM or a retail establishment and you're putting in any kind of sensitive information.
Fortunately, the victims in this case did not lose any money. Walmart incurred the $400,000 in losses. The McVitie's now face wire fraud and ID theft charges, and they're awaiting their sentencing.